Alright, let's do a test real quick. Let's see how broken this chainsaw is. Hit that button, Lily. Let's see if this motherfucker is broken as they say it is. We always know in PvP it's broken, so it's about PvE. Come on, big boy.
Melt that shit, dude.
You think so?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Let's do it. Alright, look
Hopefully I
at
can hold anger on this thing.
you aggro to me, bro. Look the other way, sir.
He knows. He knows it's coming.
Oh
Holy
my
shit. Yep.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Well,
My chainsaw broke, man. What the fuck? Look at this. Look at this, bro. That might need a nerf.
That definitely
That
does.
is fucking stupid, bro.
It did it quicker than the auto axe ever did.
Yeah, honestly, like the auto axe when
Yeah, that was the bash.
Yeah, the auto-
You know the bash minigun? That was
Oh yeah, the
stuff
bash
that
was like, yeah.
Yep.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, welcome back everybody. We're going to go with a melee build. This is my preferred melee build. This works for PvE and PvP both. There's certain card changes you have to do according to which playstyle you're going to play with. But it's very, very easy to change out. It takes really just a couple seconds. And we're going to go over that now. I'm going to go over the armor, the build, and the weapons I prefer to use. The auto melees have been nerfed significantly. The auto axe got nerfed last season. Like just this season, just released, and then the chainsaw got nerfed. To be fair, it needed to be nerfed because it was still like it was insanely strong. To be fair, but still, it's still super strong. But I still prefer swinging weapons over the auto because that's how I started off in melee with swinging weapons like the death claw, the blending iron, etc., the plasma cutter. Love those weapons. This is a more of a PA derived melee build. You don't have to do PA, you can do IPA, and all. There's very small differences in that. I'll go over that really quick when we go over the cards. But other than that, we're gonna get right into it. I'm gonna get y'all run through this real quick. I'm gonna show you how to become an absolute tank in PvE. You're gonna be hard to kill in PvP. This season, a little different, but you're still hard to kill. And on top of that, you do a massive amount of damage. Massive amount of damage. It's insane how much damage you can do. So yeah, give me just a second, guys. We'll get right into it. We'll run everything. So yeah, see you just a second. Alright, first things first. This is my PA. This is the PA I use in PvP and PvE. And yeah, you'll notice I do have strength, which strength also accumulates your damage with melee, obviously. So every point of strength is 5% melee damage, not including buffs, just flat out. There we go. I do use Vulcan because the AP regen, because you're gonna run through AP really quick. At least if you're like just constantly non-stop hitting things and moving, because that's the whole idea is to stay moving. You can stay still, you can tank just fine. I'll tell you right now, the more you move, the more damage you do, flat out. Just that simple. Strength, obviously, guaranteed. Cav, I would recommend, absolutely, because you're gonna stay moving. I would recommend Cav. You can do Sentinel, you can do Healthy, you can do Evade. All of those are beneficial. I just prefer Cav. I used to do Sentinel, but since this season changed over and Sentinel is not as reliable, I prefer Cav because Cav seems to be working decently. I don't think it's working at the full extent, but still, that's fine. When it comes to PvE, honestly, a third star is kind of redundant. Like, I literally could stand still in the set, it won't matter. Pain Train, obviously being accumulated with Choo-Choos. Choo-Choos, I run a full set of Choo-Choos, except I run one Reflective, and that was mainly for PvE and PvP. It staggers people in PvP, and it does a little bit of damage to PvE and also staggers them as well. It does the same thing. You can use Calibrate. I use Calibrate on this, obviously. But I would recommend at least one Ultrasight Bracer. The reason why is I use Deal Sealer. The more damage you do, I use pretty much any melee weapon that does a massive amount of damage, you're going to have some kind of additive, whether it's poison or it's fire or bleed or accumulation of at least two of them. They're all going to do something. So I use Ultrasight because if you add poison, so if you're using a branding iron, for example, it does mainly just fire. I think it does bleed actually. It does, but mainly the baseline is fire. if you're adding fire, bleed, and poison, you're going to do more damage just because you have that one mod on your arm. That one mod is going to add 10%, no matter what it does. It's going to add 10% to your overall damage. So I would definitely recommend that because it applies poison and radiation. Radiation, doesn't really matter. The poison what matters. And you'll see in a second when I hit some things, you'll notice the poison just pop up for no reason. They'll start glowing green, and it just adds more damage to the hits. I use jetpack. You don't really have to use jetpack, but I mean, personally, I prefer them. I like the mobility of it and be able to move and get out of the way or get in the way, etc. It's according to how you look at it. But yeah, that's literally what. And as far as the first roll goes, I've always wanted assassins on these, but you can literally use aristocrats being reflective. So especially in PvE wise, aristocrats would be insanely good for you. Mutants and lucid can both be that way. If you're a ghoul, in PvE, I would recommend you be feral. Honestly, I would recommend you be feral because you're going to do a ton more damage just because you're feral. Yeah, you're not going to be accurate with guns, but you're not going to worry about guns. If you're going to do melee, you're going to be hitting everything. You're going to be right in his face. You're going to be literally 2 foot from it. So a feral will boost your damage by 150% over your baseline. So it's going to do a massive amount of damage. I'm not feral right now. Obviously, I'm not feral at all. I never really care for feral that much, honestly. But for PvE, even PvP, but especially PvE, it is absolutely wonderful. It does insane amounts of damage. So I would say if you're going to do PvE, definitely be feral, or at least work your way there. All you have to do is not pop drugs, and that's it. Pretty much, just don't pop drugs, and that's it. So like Psycho Buff, Berry Mentat, stuff like that, just don't pop them. And the next thing you know, before you realize it, you'll be feral and you'll be doing a massive amount of damage. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the. I mean, armor. Honestly, everything else is pretty much obvious. I use database for intelligence. And of course, jetpack 2 calibrated for you carry weight. I use one optimized, so if I use something that like battle axe or a chainsaw, it reduces my AP cost overall. So you do negative 25 power attack action points. So if you use both, it reduces by 50%. And with AP recovery in this set, you pretty much don't even use AP at all. Like, you barely even moves unless you get hit, stuff like that. You know, of course you lose AP if you use a dodgy, but other than that, you don't really use any AP. But with just one, it still uses a very, very low amount of AP. You'll actually use more AP on your jetpack than anything else. But yeah, that's pretty much out. That's pretty much everything for the armor. Honestly, that's the PA right there I've been using for a really long time. I used to use it on a T65 set, but I changed my T65 to Aegis and Reflective for different reasons for other PvP type stuff, but I don't even really use it anymore. I've been using mainly Union and Vulcan still now. But yeah, that's all for the armor. So like I said, you can kind of look up real quick just to make sure you understand. I still say use one reflective, preferably on the chest, because that's where you're going to get hit the most, in PvE or PvP wise. So it's going to give them that knockback. And have every choo-choos on every other piece. You can run full reflective. It's up to you. You 100% run full reflective, but you're going to see in just a second why I use choo-choos. And yes, they got nerfed a while back, but just because it got nerfed doesn't mean it ain't stupid powerful. So you'll find out in just a second, guys. So let's switch over to the build, and then we'll go over the weapons, and then we're going to show a little bit of action with it. Alright, as I said, every point of strength is 5% damage. That's why you see 15 strength there. 1 perception, don't really use a lot of perception. Endurance 10, charisma 9, intelligence 7, agility 10, and luck 4. And here's why. So let's go to add active perks. Build's actually really not that hard to figure out, and I'm going to go ahead and run through it real quick to make it easy on y'all. Travel Pharmacy, you got meds. Barbarian, we max out our strength as high as possible. So that means 15 strength on top of 5 strength. So that's 20 strength without any other additive. No Unite Ordeal, no Herd Mentality, nothing. You're going to get flat out 20 strength. You can be butt naked. You're going to get at least that. Pain Train, I use Choo-Choos. Choo-Choos is literally Devastate and Stagger. Like, they're not joking about Devastate. It is. Incisor, Armor Penetration. I mean, why would you not use that? You want to do more damage overall. You're going to reduce their DR, so yeah, absolutely use that. Power attacks and bashing for rare strength. So I run a lot when I'm doing this stuff, and I don't know if you know this, with swinging weapons, if you stand still and you push R2, that's a swing. If you push R1, that's a power attack. If you're running and you push R2, that is a power attack. It doesn't register as a normal attack, it's a power attack. So basically, you can run, hit R2, and it's basically the same thing as standing still and hitting R1. You're going to get that little extra damage, and obviously this one's 150% more damage with this card. So you always take advantage of that. And crippling, so especially in PvE wise, this is just going to do a ton of damage. So no matter what melee weapon you use, whether it's auto or swinging, it's going to do more damage, flat out. Now, there is other cards you can change over in this, because you can go for like Bloodluster, for example, would be one. If you're going to use a lot of bleeding effects, you can switch out Barbarian. Oh my lord. You can switch out Barbarian and go for that. So if you're going to do PvE, I wouldn't use Barbarian, honestly. I would use Bloodluster. The reason why is you're going to do more damage overall, and you're not worried. Trust me, in PvE, you're not going to hardly die ever. Number Cruncher, this does affect melee weapons. So if you have a high AP cost, which a lot of swinging weapons in melee have a high AP cost, anywhere from 30 to 40 is usually the kind of medium between there. It's going to increase your damage. So if you got 30 AP on a weapon to swing it, and you're using that, you're going to get a 60% damage increase just because of the AP cost. It does correlate. Skeet Shooter is kind of a placeholder. I always have a pistol on me, so if I want to freeze something or make it sit still, for example, it just makes it easier to hit the target even without VATS. Like you don't have to have VATS to shoot it. Deal Sealer, every impairment, like I said, ultrasight bracers, and you're using flaming and a bleeding weapon, you're going to get a 30% damage bonus because of this one card. It's going to give you 30% more damage overall. Life Giver, not necessary. I use it on my build because it's extremely tanky, so that basically makes me more tanky. Ironclad, armor bonus, flat out. I'm wearing a matching set. If you're in PA, you should be wearing a matching set at all times anyway. Through Hiker, I always carry food, and like always got Toxic Goo and Quantums on me pretty much all the time. You do not have to have Quantums, but especially in PvE, you don't need Quantums. But Toxic Goo, yeah. So I'm always wearing this just so I can carry that weight. I can carry 200, 300, 500 goo on me at all times. I don't have to worry about weight problems. This is only useful during the day, but if it is during the day, it does use you 3 more strength. So that's 15% more damage during the day. Not super important card, but it's nice to have. You can switch it out for Nocturnal Fortitude, which gives you 40 more health during the night. But it's up to you. You don't have to use this, but it will give you more damage during the day. So for like half the time, you'll do a little less damage or normal damage, and then that one you'll get like a 15% bonus during the day, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's personal preference. Color Nut, like I said, I do use Quantum, so I want that healing factor, and Glowing Gut because obviously if you're as a ghoul, human does a lot of damage, but the ghoul, I ain't gonna lie, does way more damage. Just because of powered strength, stuff like that, Maxed and Bone Shatterer. You put those all together, you're going to do a massive amount of damage. Notice that Glowing Good obviously gives you radiation back, so Toxic Goo is going to give you 198 rads. Party Boy, because anything, like I said, I don't really do feral. Now, I don't know if alcohol affects it, I don't think it does, but regardless, I'm going to use it. I don't care about being feral, I don't need to be feral. But yeah, it's going to give you 6 strength from whiskey. It's going to give you 3 strength from vodka, and I think it's 75 or 65 health as well on top of it. Yeah, 75, that's right. So it gives you 75 health. So, and that goes for cranberry moonshine, mountain honey, etc. Like, it's going to give you a massive amount of health, and you're going to get an additional 15% more damage. If you're wearing whiskey, you're going to get another 30% damage. So, but the fact that this build is so tanky, I wouldn't say vodka or anything like that would be very important. Whiskey is nice, and you can go to the mall and get a lot of it. The server hop, it may only have 2, it may have up to 40 whiskey in this one vendor, and it's the Raider vendor at the mall. I'll show you just a second in case you don't know. Straining numbers, we're mutated all the time, obviously. Everybody is. Tenderizer, more damage, especially in PvE. You're just going to keep putting out more damage. And in that ordeal, because we get +3 special stats to every stat, so that means strength, endurance, intelligence, everything's going to get more boost. There's literally no reason not to use this. This is like a downscaled unyielding for ghouls just for the hell of it. Like it's just a bonus. There's no reason not to use that. Makeshift warrior because this does affect chainsaws and auto axes. By the way, this 100% will make them break slower. It's better than stable tools, and it costs the same amount of points. You're better off using this, and it will also keep your melee weapons from breaking for a really, really long time. Pyro, I use a lot of fire. So sheep squatch, brand iron, they all use fire damage. Me on mine, so I always run that. What's up, Carch? Recording? What you doing? You're good, you're good, you're good. I'm walking through a build, that's all. Nintendo! You're Nintendo! My Nintendo! I don't know yet. I ain't decided yet, buddy. I have no idea. I kind of looked into it, but I haven't actually looked into it. What's this? Wait. Alright. I don't know. Give me one second, I'll be right back. Alright, so obviously pyrotechnician, I use a lot of flame damage. So sheep squat staff, brand iron, they have fire. It's going to add more damage to your attacks, flat out. It is. So use this personally, my own personal opinion. I would use this. You can use cryo, so if you use like a plasma cutter with a cryo damage, it'll boost it as well. I just use pyros because a lot more weapons I use have fire and bleed mixtured together, so I prefer this personally. White Knight, armor, as y'all know, breaks a lot faster this season, so I would recommend this in general because you're going to be hit a lot, PvE or PvP wise. You're going to get hit a lot, so I would say run this just for the fact that you don't want your armor breaking extremely fucking fast, like just FYI. Scrapper, I usually use Curator here actually. Let me pop a Curator on because I have a ton of bobbleheads. I had Scrapper on because I was doing some raids last night. Science Monster, I don't really use science weapons when it comes to melee. There really ain't a lot to choose from. But, I mean, you get a 15% bonus damage after 10 seconds upon getting hit. So, like I said, your melee, you're going to get hit. Like, that's the whole point of melee. You're definitely going to get hit. So, since this build is extremely tanky, and you're going to get hit, I mean, you're just going to add 15% more damage again, including the other cards. Like, you're just going to keep adding more damage the more times you get hit. Baubles, I use magazines, I use melee bobbleheads and stuff like that, so I always have that little bonus of damage. So I always use that. It's quality of life. Just the melee bobbleheads, for example. If I just use a melee bobblehead, it's going to give me at 2 hours instead of an hour. So if I'm running around playing, goofing off, killing things, whatever, it's just quality of life. Ninja, I use this mainly for auto weapons. I know that probably sounds dumb, but I actually use it for auto weapons. Now, it doesn't work quite the same as it used to, especially in PA. If you're not in PA, this actually will probably be better usage. But I normally do agility because I want my agility maxed out. I want this high as possible. You're running a lot, you're going to need AP. Simple as that. But that does do a massive amount of damage, even if you're sneaking. As a melee player, even outside PA especially, it's really easy to sneak up on people, or sneak up on something, or a super mutant, or whatever. It's really easy to sneak up on them, and you're going to do a chunk of damage, like really fucking quick. Because the additive sneak damage obviously applies to ballistic and DOT, so it's a lot of damage. Packet Light, AP regeneration when you're not encumbered. I'm almost never encumbered, and you shouldn't be with this high much of strength. You should never be encumbered. Like, so just get your AP refreshed. Why not? Born Survivor, just in case. Not super important, but I use that just in case, literally. And the sneak damage is for outside PA, more often than not. Just because you can sneak up on something and smack it. PvE wise, yes. If you're doing fighting as a melee player, this is going to give you way more damage. Like it's 10% damage per kill, so you're talking about 100% damage just because you keep killing things repeatedly. So the more you kill, the more damage you do. Literally, I do use dodgy. You do not have to use dodgy. I use dodgy for PvP and PvE to the point where it makes me unkillable in PvE. Damn near. Action goal, AP refresh. Like I said, you're going to use AP. Always use it. Ricochet for PvE, and this also works tandem with reflective, obviously. So it's going to return a little damage back to them, and it should stagger them. So it makes you kill them easier. Class Freak as always. I'm always mutated, and instead of having to suppress all my mutations, especially in PvE, you don't have to suppress them as much. You may lose about 2 or 3 strength on my serum thing. That's it. You'll lose 15% damage, but you're going to get. But if you suppress them, you'll get right back. But you're also going to gain from adrenaline. You're going to gain from science monster. You're going to gain from United Ordeal. You're going to gain from everything. All the stuff is going. And deal stealer is all going to be added damage. You're going to make up for that and more, and do a massive amount of damage, even without suppressing your serums. So, FYI. So that's the full build. Obviously, legendary perks are still the same as agility, strength, endurance, intelligence, perception, and take one for the team. You're a melee player, you're going to get hit. There you go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, I'm going to go with my preferred melee weapons. This is what I use 99.9% of the time. The first one, I'm going to go up in tiers as I feel is tiers of these. The anti-armor, flaming plasma cutter, weapon speed, strength with pyromaniacs. This thing does a massive amount of damage. It's very, very nice. Pop a psycho buff. This is no whiskey, by the way. This is just drugs. I am buffed, but I'm also on a team of myself, so this can go a little higher, to be fair. Not much, but a little bit higher. Obviously, you see the damage output. We're doing 1,000 damage for ballistic, 1,183 for your fire, and 673 for 4 seconds. So, not bad. Brand Iron. Your ballistic is not as high, but your bleed and your fire is insanely higher, as you can tell. Way higher. That is my preferred second one. And then here's my chainsaw. Pounder's Furious, Heavier Strength. And you're going to do a lot of damage with this. You can also switch to longbow bar and do bleed, but honestly, I don't really see it being that great this season. I think the dual bar is kind of more back into the phase of being stronger than the bow bar. So the bleed's not super important because you are going to do a lot of ballistic, a lot of fire. And my favorite weapon for, I don't know, it's been like 2 years now. I call it the penetration staff. It is a sheep squat staff. It uses power attack. Yep, remember I said if you're running and you swing, it's a power attack. So this is added 40% more damage to my swing. You can do more DPS in the end, I guess, if you swing a lot more. So swing speed in PvE probably be more beneficial, but not super. It's not like amazing, like way higher. It'd probably be a little bit higher. But this weapon alone does so much damage, it's ridiculous. You can put Iceman as a 4-star and do a slightly more damage. You'll do 10% more damage on top of that. Let's say you use the ultrasonic bracers, fire, and poison. Bleed, excuse me. So you go after bracers, you're going to do poison. You have your bleed, obviously. You have your fire. And then if you put Iceman on the force roll, it can do a massive amount of damage. But at the same time, I like Pyros over that because it boosts the fire so much. I don't personally believe the Iceman can outperform it. It will do a lot of damage, but you're getting 10%, and this one I'm getting 50% more damage. Look at it that way, as a numbers game. Yes, it's to me personally, it's going to do way more damage over time. And if you hit something once, it's going to do a lot of damage. Really quick, really fast. It's hard. If your PvP is really hard to heal, it is hard. You can heal through it, but you're going to have to spam like hell to get through it. And that's if they don't hit you again while you're healing. So you got to do it pretty quickly. But yeah, that is my favorite weapon. Flat out. Whether it's PvE or PvP, the Sheep Squash Staff is the king in my mind for a very long time. But so we're going to do a little demonstration with it. We'll show you how fun these things can be. And then after that, that's going to be it. So, see you in a second. I guess they're all showing up for their shift. But anyway, I'm gonna run y'all through the weapons real quick. I want to show you a little demonstration of each one of them: plasma cutter, the brand iron, and the sheep squatch, and the chainsaw. I am not buffed right now. I went to a regular world. I'm only at 48 strength, which is kind of low for me, honestly. Yes, well, 52. It's still pretty low. It's not massive by any means. I can go to 71 legitly with solar powered and stuff like that. Minimum of 68 at night. If you do full buff, I mean full buff, Wellingtons, etc., all the food. But yeah, let's just show y'all a little demonstration real quick. I want to see how strong Choo Choo's is right off the bat. See this guy? Dead. That's the sword. One shot. Branding iron. A little bit lower because of DOT. Like I said, DOT is the main thing of that. You get less ballistic. Sheep squatch. And if you notice, that's a 2-star on top of that. Now, let's do this. That's the power of Choo Choo's right there. That's how strong Choo Choo's actually is. That dude's still bleeding. He's dead. Now watch this. You want something hilarious? That's funny. Okay, here we go. That's hilarious. So yeah, that's a little demonstration to show y'all how strong this is in PvE. Like I said, popped a couple of goo. As you can see, my health really hasn't been deterred much at all. This stuff is really tanky. You can make it tankier. You can use T65 and make yourself really tanky because you're going to get higher DR. Because the DR on this is only at 38.99 and at 42.70 for energy. So you get a little bit more energy and protection, obviously, than DR. But my T65 with Aegis, different Aegis now, so you got to reduce the numbers a little bit. It's at 49. And I think around 39 actual energy or 37 energy is somewhere there. Basically, you flip them around. Obviously, my number's way higher, but that's I said that's with full Aegis. I have one reflective, so 4 Aegis on top of each other, so 200 less DR. So I'm actually gonna be sitting around 4,500 or 4,400 ballistic, and about the same as energy. The energy pretty much ain't gonna be changed, obviously. Go away, please. Thank you. But as you can tell, this is extremely strong, especially in PvE. PvP-wise, this stuff is a one-hit kill pretty much on anybody. Only problem is getting close enough to do it. Obviously, that's the biggest thing. You see that DOT, how much it hurts? That's insane. And yeah, 300 damage per headshot. Come here, buddy. See? That was more reflective than anything. Yeah, still super strong. It did get nerfed. It ain't weak by any stretch. It's not weak. So yeah, that's a little demonstration. I'm gonna show you on the raid a little bit, and then that's gonna be it, guys. You know, if I ever start shooting at it for just a second. Yeah, that happens. It don't surprise me at all. My God, it's fucking staggering shit is annoying. There we go. I'm about to kill him motherfucker in time. It's gonna be close. Just in time. Holy God. Just in time. Dude, I was still running through the black. I killed it though. That's wild.
Why the fuck am I black?
Hey, bro, come on now, dog.
I'm glad you share your voice. I'm finna clip that real quick. One second.